Stop for a moment. Not later. Not after you finish scrolling. Right now. Pause everything you're doing. Put your phone down for just a second. Close the noise. Step away from the distractions. Because this moment, this exact second you are in, is not ordinary. You did not arrive here by accident. Out of billions of moments, billions of choices, and endless distractions competing for your attention, you are here, reading these words. That is not coincidence. That is alignment. Something has been drawing you here. Something deeper than logic. Something beyond chance. And whether you fully understand it or not, something is about to shift in your life. But you must be present. You must be aware. Because moments like this don't stay open forever. If you miss this, you might miss something you've been waiting for, praying for, hoping for, without even realizing it. So listen carefully. There has been a story unfolding in your life. One filled with challenges, confusion, delays, and moments where you questioned everything. Moments where you asked yourself, why is this happening to me? Why does it feel like nothing is working? Why does it feel like I'm always fighting something unseen? And yet, through all of it, you kept going. Even when you were tired. Even when you felt empty. Even when no one else understood what you were carrying inside. You kept showing up. That matters more than you know. Because every tear you cried in silence meant something. Every night you couldn't sleep because your mind wouldn't stop racing meant something. Every time you felt alone in a crowded room meant something. None of it was wasted. You may have felt invisible. You may have felt forgotten. You may have felt like your efforts didn't matter. But the truth is, you were being shaped. Quietly. Gradually. Powerfully. There were things being built inside you that could not have been built any other way. Strength that only comes through struggle. Clarity that only comes through confusion. Depth that only comes through pain. You weren't being ignored. You were being prepared. Think about everything you've been through. The betrayals. The disappointments. The moments where people you trusted let you down. The times you gave your best, and it still wasn't enough for others. That hurt you. It changed you. But it didn't destroy you. In fact, you're still here, which means something inside you refused to break. And that something is powerful. There has been resistance in your life, and not without reason. Every time you tried to move forward, something seemed to push back. Every time you got close to a breakthrough, something seemed to block it. Every time you felt hope, something tried to replace it with doubt. It felt like a pattern, like something was working against you. But what if that resistance wasn't there because you're weak? What if it was there because you're strong? What if it was there because there is something within you that hasn't fully awakened yet? Something that has the potential to change your life in ways you haven't even imagined. Because here's the truth you need to hear. You are not ordinary. You are not insignificant. And you are not stuck. You have been in a season of waiting, but that season is not permanent. Something is changing. Slowly, maybe quietly, but undeniably. The weight you've been carrying, it's starting to lift. The confusion you've been feeling, it's beginning to clear. The path that once felt blocked, it's starting to open. You may not see it fully yet, but you can feel it. That subtle shift. That quiet sense that something is different. That's not your imagination. That's transition. And with that transition comes a choice. You can stay where you've been, holding on to doubt, replaying past pain, expecting things to go wrong. Or, you can step into something new. You can choose to believe that your story is not over, that your past does not define your future, that your struggles were not meaningless, but necessary. Because everything begins to change the moment you change what you agree with. If you keep agreeing with fear, fear will grow. If you keep agreeing with doubt, doubt will control you. But if you begin to align yourself with possibility, with growth, with strength, everything shifts. You start seeing differently, thinking differently, acting differently, and slowly, your reality begins to follow. You are closer than you think, closer to clarity, closer to peace, closer to the breakthrough you've been waiting for. Even if it doesn't look like it yet, things are moving. Behind the scenes, beneath the surface, in ways you cannot fully see right now. So don't give up here. Not now. Not when you've come this far. You've survived too much to stop at this point. You've grown too much to go back to who you used to be. This is not the end of your story. This is the turning point. A moment where everything begins to shift, not all at once, but in a way that changes everything over time. So take a breath, be present, and recognize this for what it is, a moment of awareness. A moment of realization. A moment where something inside you begins to wake up. And once that happens, nothing stays the same. I declare over your life today, you will finish strong. You will rise with a glory that cannot be hidden. You will step into a future so powerful that it will impact lives far beyond what you can imagine. Where others expected your story to end quietly, it will echo loudly. The voice of doubt once told you that your best days were behind you. But I speak something different over you now. Your greatest days are not behind you. They are ahead of you. Closer than you think. Nearer than you feel. You have been told that you are too broken to be used. That your past disqualifies you. That your wounds make you weak. But hear this clearly. Your brokenness does not disqualify you. It prepares you. It gives you depth. It gives you understanding. It gives you strength that cannot be taught any other way. You were told that you made too many mistakes. That you went too far. That you cannot come back from where you've been. But your past does not have the final say over your future. What is behind you does not define what is ahead of you. You were told you were too weak. But weakness is not the end of your story. It is where transformation begins. Because strength is not built in ease. It is revealed in struggle. You were made to rise, even from your lowest points. You were told that you missed your chance. That the opportunity passed. That the door is closed. But not every closed door is permanent. Some doors were closed to protect you. Others were closed to redirect you. And now, new doors are opening. Doors that no one can block. Opportunities that align with who you are becoming, not who you used to be. You were made to believe that your failures define you. But failure is not identity. It is experience. It teaches. It shapes. It strengthens. You are not disqualified. You are still chosen. You still carry purpose. You were told that you are rejected. That you don't belong. That you're not enough. But the truth is, you were never meant to fit everywhere. You were meant to stand out. You were meant to walk a path that not everyone understands. And yes, there were moments when you felt alone. Moments where silence surrounded you. Moments where no one showed up. Moments where you questioned everything. But even in those moments, you endured. And that endurance matters. You were told you would not survive this season. But you are still here. Not just surviving, but learning, growing, and becoming stronger. And now something is shifting. This is not just about getting through life anymore. This is about stepping into a life that reflects your growth. A life where you don't just survive, but thrive. Where you don't just exist, but live with clarity and purpose. You were told you have no future. But your future is not empty. It is unwritten. And that means it is still full of possibility. So now the question becomes, what will you believe? The voice that fills you with fear? Or the voice that reminds you of your strength? The thoughts that limit you? Or the truth that frees you? Because everything begins with a choice. Choose to believe in growth. Choose to believe in change. Choose to believe that your life can shift. Not because everything is perfect, but because you are willing to move forward anyway. Something is already in motion. Opportunities are forming. Connections are aligning. Moments are being prepared. You may not see it fully yet, but that does not mean it isn't happening. Over the next days and weeks, you will begin to notice small changes. A conversation that feels meaningful. An idea that sparks something new. An opportunity that seems unexpected. Pay attention to those moments. They are not random. They are signals. Signals that things are moving. That something new is entering your life. That you are stepping into a different phase. And with that comes transformation. Not overnight, but steadily. The way you think will begin to change. The way you respond will begin to shift. The way you see yourself will begin to grow. And as that happens, your life will begin to reflect it. But understand this. None of this happens without your participation. You cannot stay stuck in old patterns and expect new outcomes. You cannot hold on to fear and expect confidence to grow. You must take steps, even small ones. Reach out to opportunities. Say yes when it feels right. Let go of what no longer serves you. Growth requires movement. Change requires action. Everything that is possible for you still requires your decision to step forward. So don't wait passively. Be aware. Be intentional. Be ready. Because something is shifting. And when you look back at this moment, you will realize this was the point where things began to change. Not all at once, but in a way that slowly transformed everything. Your story is not over. In many ways, it is just beginning. You already know who they are. Their face came to your mind the moment you read this. You didn't have to think about it. It just appeared. One of them is tired. One of them is silently struggling. One of them is on the edge of giving up. They may not say it out loud, but inside, they are questioning everything. They are wondering if their prayers are being heard. They are asking themselves if anything will ever change. And right now, you are closer to being the answer they've been waiting for than you realize. You are about to become the message they needed, the reminder they were hoping for, the moment of clarity they've been searching for. Sometimes, hope doesn't come in loud, dramatic ways. Sometimes, it comes quietly, through a message, through a word, through someone simply reaching out. And this is one of those moments. When you share something meaningful, you're not just passing along words. You're creating a connection. You're reminding someone they're not alone. You're giving them something to hold on to when they feel like letting go. You never truly know how much a small action can mean to someone else. A simple message, a small gesture, a few words at the right time. These things can shift someone's entire day, or even their entire direction. And here's something important to understand. Life has a way of reflecting what you give. When you bring light into someone else's life, you create more light within your own. When you help someone feel seen, you begin to see your own value more clearly. When you offer encouragement, you strengthen something inside yourself too. It's not about obligation. It's not about pressure. It's about awareness. You have the ability to make an impact, right now, in a simple way. And maybe part of you is hesitating, thinking, I'll do it later. I'm not sure if it matters. I'll wait. But sometimes, the right moment is not later. It's now. Not everything in life requires perfect timing. Some things just require willingness. Taking action, even in a small way, builds momentum. It moves you out of hesitation and into purpose. And that applies to your life as well. Because this message is not only about someone else, it's about you too. You've been waiting for change, waiting for clarity, waiting for something to shift. And the truth is, change often begins with a step. Not a huge, overwhelming leap, just a step. A decision to act differently. A decision to think differently. A decision to respond instead of delay. What you do next matters. Not because of pressure, but because of direction. You are not stuck. You are not behind. You are not out of time. You are in a moment where things can begin to move, if you allow them to. Over the coming days and weeks, you may start to notice small signs of change. A new idea, a meaningful conversation, an unexpected opportunity. These are the ways life begins to shift. Quietly, gradually, naturally. And as that happens, your confidence grows. Your mindset changes. Your energy shifts. Your perspective expands. But it all begins with awareness and action. So don't ignore this moment. Don't brush it off as something small. Moments like this, when you feel something, when something resonates, are often the starting points of change. You have a choice right now, to continue as you were, or to take even the smallest step forward, to hold back, or to engage, to wait, or to move. There is no pressure in this, only opportunity. Opportunity to connect. Opportunity to grow. Opportunity to step into something new. And as you do, remember this. You matter. Your actions matter. Your presence in this world matters. You are capable of creating change, both in your life and in the lives of others. And this moment, this is just the beginning. Something is shifting, not all at once, but in a way that builds, grows, and unfolds over time. So take the step. Do what feels right. Move forward with intention, because your story is still being written, and the best parts are still ahead.